I've been trying to come up with a way that I can share information and conversations with you journey members who are afar that we have here locally on the week. So I've decided that when we go to an event or whatever, and we're talking about a topic of conversation that I think you guys would be interested in, I'm just going to come back and jump on and record it and call it Conversations in the Car. This week's conversation was about spiritual adultery. And spiritual adultery is the phenomenon or the process of sharing information outside of your marriage covenant. For example, if you have a young newlywed, she's frustrated with her husband, he's working late hours, he's not coming home as often, she feels like he's keeping a secret. She picks up the phone, calls her mama or mother-in-law or friend or whoever, and starts talking about all the things she thinks. He's having an affair. He's not as interested in me. He's working later hours, blah, blah, blah. So then friend, mother-in-law, mother join in the conversation, start presupposing all the things that she's imagining. And so now you have a threefold cord. You have you, whomever else, and you have the enemy who always jumps in accusation. And so you have a threefold cord that is being built against your marriage, against your husband. And as the word says, a threefold cord is not easily broken. So the point is, spiritual adultery is sharing anything outside of your marriage that you should keep inside your marriage. So then, let's say the couple, the young man comes home. She tells him how she feels. He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I am keeping secrets from you. I've been working extra hours so I can buy you that diamond ring you wanted or that upgrade band or whatever it is." So they make up, everything's peachy keen, and then she fails to go back to the conversation with her mother-in-law or her friend about all the vain imaginations that she was supposing about her husband, the affair, whatever. And so mother-in-law and friend keep those seeds in their heart against the young man. And so now they've all come into agreement with these things over him. So it just piles things on him in the spirit, and it gives the enemy a toehold into your marriage. Because now mother-in-law doesn't know you've made up. Friend doesn't know you've made up. So they're carrying these things against your husband that you planted seeds of. Another example would be a lady who's not happy. She's been married for years and she doesn't feel like she and her husband have good communication. So she goes to the gym. The trainer comes in. "How are you?" And she starts unloading. "Oh, my husband doesn't care about me. We don't talk like we used to. We don't have conversation. He doesn't meet my heart." Well, coincidentally, the trainer has the same problem with his wife. So y'all start commiserating. You're now discussing intimate details outside your marriage. And so the enemy now has a toehold. Seeds are now being planted, and these accusations are being piled on your spouse in the spirit. So you've taken intimate details outside of your covenant. And then the enemy has things that he can use against you, against your husband. He has come into what is called a threefold cord that is not easily broken. And so you have to repent to your husband. I've shared things I shouldn't have shared. I've talked to my mom about things that before I talked to you. And so you have to repent to the Lord. Lord, I repent for sharing these intimate details outside of my marriage. And you have to break my assignment and agreement in these accusations against my husband. And so all those things have potential to destroy a marriage. Imagine then that this trainer and this gym member have started sharing these intimate details about the lack in their marriage. And so that's emotional adultery. And so then it becomes physical adultery, and then it becomes sexual adultery. So all those things start in spiritual adultery. And those are things that we have to be cognizant of, and we have to guard the things that we talk about with our spouse. And yes, you can call a pastor or a counselor or whatever, but don't talk about it with your family members. Don't talk about things that you've not shared yet with your spouse. That opens a door to spiritual adultery, and that opens a door to greater offenses with other people, with the enemy, against the Lord, and it's not a blessing to your marriage.